Come up to the mic.
Oh.
Oh, sure.
Come up to, you got to come up to the mic. Yeah, because we got to get on camera.
All right. Yeah. So.
Just speak into the mic.
Yeah. So it's true. Like when you're 8 years old, the first Batman you see, like the first Batman I saw was Michael Keaton's Batman. I loved him a lot, but my Batman is Christian Bale. You know, when I was 18, first seeing it, but I was like, what was the experience like taking so long to make like a really serious Batman and then do it again and again and again in live action? Because it was Batman Begins, which I felt was the first real dark Batman movie, and then The Dark Knight Rises, and now the Batman, which is like the detective story. Like,
okay, that's a great question. Ordinarily, it would take me 49 minutes to answer that. So I'm going to do the short version of this. So after Tim Burton's two pictures, let me back up. Movie studios today, or what used to be movie studios today, are big corporate conglomerates. They may own a theme park, they may own a t-shirt company, a toy company. There's a lot of wheels to be greased. Sometimes movie studios executives become very enamored with toys and games and Happy Meals. And when they become very enamored with that, sometimes they will bring in a filmmaker and give that filmmaker instructions. We need these lighter, brighter, kiddie-friendly, family-friendly, because we want to make McDonald's and we want to make the toy companies happy. When that happens, and then they start saying, well, you know, the toy companies would love to see 3 heroes and 3 villains in a movie. Each one should have 2 costume changes and 2 vehicles. In my mind's eye, the tail's now wagging the dog. And if you're going to do that, something's got to go. And what typically goes is tone, story, and character development. I said, instead of making 2-hour infomercials for toys, why don't we get great filmmakers with visions and let them make great movies? You'll sell toys anyway. But folks, let me just mention specifically, Joel Schumacher was one of the nicest, most decent, most talented men I have ever met. He was a wonderful man, and he was carrying out what he was asked to do at that time. And when Christopher Nolan came in, his mission was to restore the darkness and dignity to Batman. And he was, so it's exactly what Tim Burton set out to do, but he was going to come at it 180 degrees different. So what he was going to do is not build 5 square city blocks of Gotham City on the back lot of Pinewood Studios. He wanted to convince all of you that this could be real today. Because the world had changed. You know, back when '89 Batman came out, we were living in a black and white world of good versus evil. The Joker was indeed the clown prince of crime. By the time we're dealing with post 9/11, you're talking about a gray world. It's order versus chaos. And the Joker in the comics is already now a homicidal maniac. So he wanted to make it feel real. So he found a city, Chicago. You take 2 iconic buildings out of the skyline and people around the world cannot identify the city. So it's not like New York, the minute you see Times Square, the Statue of Liberty, it's New York, breaks the suspension of disbelief. So Chicago made Gotham City work. Number 2, he wanted to convince you that Bruce Wayne could be a real young man today on some sort of lost horizon journey of self-discovery, suffering from post-traumatic stress syndrome, and Christian Bale delivered on that. He was everybody's Bruce Wayne, and it felt real. He needed to make the Joker real. So he made him a modern-day contemporary terrorist, somebody who placed no value on human life whatsoever. And you know, if you go to the scene in Dark Knight where they're on a boat and they have a device and their choice is either you press the button and blow up everyone on the other boat to save your skin, or you don't. I have heard from so many people that sitting in the darkness of a theater, when they were confronted with that on screen, what do you do when you have a moral choice to make and the choice is between bad and worse? And people telling me in the darkness of that theater, they each came to their own conclusion about that, what they would or wouldn't have done. My God, this is a comic book movie. To have that kind of heft thematically and impact people, that's incredible. When I talk about Chris elevating the whole thing, that's what he did. His 4th thing that he had to prove to all of you was the toughest of all. He had to try to convince you that all the crazy tech was real. How is he going to do that? He hired Morgan Freeman to tell you it was real. I mean, if Morgan Freeman says it's true, by God, it's true. I mean, that was just brilliant. That was just brilliant. So everybody comes at it differently. Everybody comes with their own vision for Batman. And it can go any which way in the future, just like it has in the comics. And I think it's great when we can all take the ride and watch one filmmaker have a couple of pictures to do what he will or she will. Another one maybe does a trilogy. And then you move on and you give different filmmakers opportunities to do their own interpretations, because everyone sitting here, we have our own unique interpretation. So everyone should get a crack. And it's only Batman you could do this with. I contend there's no other superhero that you can do this with. Oh, when Dark Knight came out, one of the things I enjoyed, everybody was projecting their politics onto him. I turned on Fox News one night, and all the right-wingers were going, "This is our guy. Oh, man, he does everything." And then you turn on MSNBC, "Oh, this is our guy. He's a left guy." You can project your own philosophies onto Batman. You can project your own politics. You can't do that with Spidey or Hulk or Superman. Any other questions? How are we doing on time?
5 minutes more.
5 minutes more, okay. Yeah.
It's great to meet you. It's a real honor. And I want to thank you for what you've done for Jerry Robertson and Bill Finger and Athena Finger.
Thank you.
You're a great man. My question is, what is your opinion of the Snyderverse? Man of Steel, Batman vs. Superman, Extended Edition, and Zack Snyder's Justice League.
It's exactly what I was talking about. We bring in different filmmakers, each have their own visions, each takes from different comic books or graphic novels. Somebody may really, really like Frank Miller more than anybody else. Somebody else might like Neil Adams more than anyone else, or any of Bob Kane's ghost artists, and writing style. So it's just like, I believe in an open door for Batman. Let everybody have their favorite, but don't go peeing on everybody else's. You know, we're all in this together. And it's going to shift and move to different filmmakers. So maybe this time you get your Frank Millerish version. Maybe I got my 1939 Batman version. And now we're getting something great with the detective story. I always said the new movie, The Batman, while the other movies have been based on Batman comics, this one's based on detective comics. That to me is the real difference. So I'm just open to all, and I wish all fans would be. I grew up in an era collecting. When I was a kid who loved comic books, I collected everything. All the little companies, everything. Classics Illustrated, Archie, Richie Rich, until I realized it was Donald Trump in short pants. I collected and loved everything. So as an old fart, I can't really understand young fans today who say, I love DC and hate Marvel. Or I love Marvel and hate DC. It doesn't compute for me. I'm a fan of the Marvel stuff. My God, Deadpool and Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yes.
Anytime we can be bold and daring and push the envelope, that's great for all of us. Once we all start making cookie cutter movies, we're slitting our own throats. We're oversaturating the marketplace with crap, and it's going to go away. But to continue to push the envelope like that is going to be great. And you're about to see, both from Marvel and DC, the multiverse. You know, you're about to see some really, really cool shit coming down. The return of Michael Keaton and the '89 Batmobile. And by the way, you know, I guess they're calling it The Flash. I call it the next Batman movie. You know, it's been delayed.
Yeah, until next February.
Till when?
2023. The 35th anniversary of the '89.
Aha! June 23rd. Anybody here ever see, do you have the '89 Batman movie poster? Did I see it over there? Could you hold it up for a second? You know, all the billboards originally did not have the name of the movie on it. It was just the oval with the bat. Open that up for everybody. So all the billboards did not have Batman on it. Instead, they all just say June 23rd. All the original billboards, and now Keaton returns June 23rd.
Yes.
89, 2023, 34. Yeah, no worries. 2023.
That's it.
Michael, as a coda to this amazing and, as I expected, inspirational talk that you've just given me to think about my future going forward as well, what can you say about The Boy Who Loved Batman, and what a little bit about what's happening, and what can we expect? When may that achieve its Broadway opening?
Okay, well, we haven't done any big announcements yet, so I can't give you details, but I will tell you that the play is being fast-tracked, and I would hope that maybe by spring of '23, we will be on Broadway. And I know I've talked to everybody over at the Nederlander organization, and it will be our goal to work with comic book conventions and get the word out to fans and make sure that all fans have easy access to what we're doing. And if that means we got to set aside a night on Broadway for fans only, we'll do that as well. Michael, thank you for being here
We
tonight.
promise you we will all be there.
Great. I'm
Thank
doing
you.
a book signing downstairs.
Ladies and gentlemen, Michael Uslan, Batman's Batman.